Hello, my babies. You're watching Big TV, and this is your host, Dr. Jazzy. Well, today I want to talk about when does adulthood begin? You know, there's many conversations about is it at a certain age, when you have certain responsibilities, a certain location, a certain culture. I think it's a little bit of all of the above. So, first up, I want to talk about the certain age theory. Yeah. All right. So there's some people who believe that you're an adult once you reach a certain age. I know quite a few old fools who beg to differ. Okay? And I just like I know quite a few young people who are very intelligent, very centered spiritually, or they're comfortable with themselves. They know what they want. But I know a lot of old fools. So I don't believe it's necessarily an age. What I believe in regards to age is that there are some laws in this country which allow people to be immature for a very long period of time. Um, I just do. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you should be given an apartment, obviously. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you should be given a car or a cell phone, obviously. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you should be able to drink, quite obviously. Um, but there's this one law that has always been like a contradiction to me. And that law is you're old enough to go overseas and die for your country, but you're not old enough to sit down and order something off tap. That's complete and utter bullshit. It takes much more in the way of maturity to go fight in a war. Um, I know people who are 30 and 40 something who should never be allowed to drink a day in their damn lives, but still they're allowed to drink. So don't think that, oh, I'm 18, I'm grown. If you don't pay bills, if you don't have responsibilities, if you're still acting like a child and you throw temper tantrums, you are not an adult. You're just someone who the state deems to be a legal adult. And that's even mitigatable if you're like in high school still. So, yeah, no, not age. Because if we looked at everything for age, oh my God, oh God. So I guess it's time to go on to certain responsibilities. All right. So it is now time for us to talk about certain responsibilities that inherently make us adults. I think that there are certain responsibilities that do make you an adult. It's not the having the responsibility that makes you an adult. What makes you an adult is you taking care of your responsibilities of your own volition. Meaning, if you have a child, I don't care if you're 15 or 16 or 17, you go get a fucking job and go to school and do what you're supposed to do. If you have bills that you need to pay, don't go buy the new phone. Don't go buy the new Jordans. Don't go do any of that. Pay your rent, pay your bills. It's tricking if you got it if it don't belong to you. Because, see, what people don't understand is when you're an adult and you have bills that you have to pay, it ain't yours. When you get your paycheck, it already belongs to your creditors. It's not yours. It's tricking because you ain't really got it. Um, a job with responsibilities that impact other people, a slew of things can give you responsibility. I don't necessarily think that adulthood necessarily happens for everyone when they get these responsibilities. I think instead what happens sometimes is that maturity builds as these responsibilities are taken care of. So, like I said, I know some young people who take care of their bills, take care of their children, do what they have to do, work two, three jobs. And then I know some people who are 30, 40, 50, 60, who don't do anything. They don't take care of shit. They never have, never will. So, pardon me if I'm not like, ooh, responsibility makes you an adult. No, it's the taking care of your responsibilities of your own volition, not being forced to, which makes you a good person. Like, not even just makes you a good person, because that's bullshit. It makes you a responsible person that leads to adulthood. That's the only way to really say that one. Yeah. So, next up, these are things that can impact when adulthood hits. So, we're going to talk about location. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Location. All right, so it's time for us to talk about locales. Now, there are certain locations where adulthood comes sooner because of the needs of the community or the needs of the family. Um, in a lot of Middle Eastern countries, people become adults faster, things like that. Even here in the United States, in poor areas, people have to become adults earlier to help their families to thrive and survive. Um, so, location has an impact on it simply because a different location can oftentimes mean a different need for your family, and therefore you're forced into adulthood. But that's still based on responsibility, not necessarily mentality. Because a lot of these people, these kids who grow up in these poor areas, who have to grow up faster in many ways, such as having babies very young, getting criminal records very young, things like that, because they truly believe that they're an adult and have all the knowledge of an adult because they're helping to pay bills. But still, the life experiences aren't necessarily there to back that up. So I would say, location can definitely impact adulthood. But I think the next portion, the last segment of this video, is going to tie it all together for the location mixed with responsibility, etc. We're going to go to culture. Let's travel to culture. All right, now it's time for us to talk about culture. Culture is one of those things that is varying. There are so many different cultures throughout this world that none of them subscribe to any one pure philosophical standpoint, no one metaphysical belief system. So, in the culture such as the Jewish culture, you have bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs. For boys and girls when they're 13, they're considered adults. Ceremonial. You have those same kind of ceremonies in countries in Africa. You have people who get married when they're 13 and 14 in certain cultures. And so I believe, and this is my point of view, in those cultures where people are raised or bred to be an adult at a certain point, they tend to reach adulthood much earlier because that's what they're taught. I'm going to give you an example. I didn't really baby talk my son. And the reason why is because I didn't want to have him to learn an entirely different language, because baby talk is its own language. And I got a lot of flack for that. But I told people, I'm raising an intelligent young man, not a cute little boy. He's cute on his own right. He doesn't need my help. What he needs help with is intellect and being eloquent when he speaks, etc., etc. So that was my choice. Okay. I believe that a lot of parents in many cultures believe the same thing because they want their children to evolve. They don't want to hinder or enable their children to stay children. They want to elevate them to be an adult. And so I believe that your culture, your belief system really does impact the way that you raise your children, thusly impacting the time frame for which adulthood hits. There's psychological issues, certain family dynamics, which lead to 50-year-old children. There are certain dynamics, certain elements, and you can have one child who was raised to be an adult within a family, and then another child who was babyfied and pacified their whole life. And so, it on a fundamental level, it's family to family, person to person. There are certain cultural elements that do help. So, I believe that this is something that we need to look at because, we expect children to magically become adults when they turn 18, and we've given them no tools to be adults. We've pacified them, and on their 18th birthday, like, okay, well, you're supposed to be an adult now, you're supposed to be responsible. And then you have some people who say, oh, you're 18, you're still a child. They're going to forever be a child till you make them grow the fuck up. Give them the tools that they need. I mean, honestly, truly, pardon me. No, fuck that. Let your child grow up. If you're an enabler and you're allowing your child to be a 50-year-old child, if your child is 30, still living at home with no ambitions, not doing anything, you have to clean their room and wash the dishes and all this shit, and they don't do chores or anything. A 30-year-old doing chores anyway is asinine, unless it's in their own home. But, oh my God. Grow the fuck up. Yes. Dr. Jazzy said it. Just like Dr. Phil wants to say sometimes on his show when he says, grow the hell up. He really wants to say, grow the fuck up. Take off your diapers, put on some big girl panties, get the fuck out the house and do what you gotta do. Take off the pull-up, son. Put on some big man drawers. Hell, go commando if you want to. Just get the fuck out.
Man up, son. Man up.
I'm saying, man up, son. Man up, you know? So, I mean, at some point, you gotta grow the fuck up. Like,
thank you.
You just gotta do what you gotta do. If my 9-year-old knows that, and you're 29, 39, 49, and you don't, fix your fucking face. Love ya. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Big TV. What? This has been your host, Dr. Jazzy. I love you all, my babies. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, you know I have to do it for my babies, because y'all tell me to do it. Whatever device you own, it's somewhere. So, find it, click it, like it, share it, love it, go.